Many people believe in that left behind theory, that there's going to be a secret rapture taken away of God's people, and we ain't going to know what happened. People just going to vanish. That's a lie from the pit. When the Lord comes, everybody going to know it. When God's people rapture out of here, you ain't going to have to figure out what happened. You're going to know what happened. Now, what is the day of the Lord? The day of the Lord is the rapturing of the church and God coming and pouring out his wrath. From the time that Adam sinned in the garden, in the Garden of Eden, up until this day, or let me put it this way, up until the day that Christ comes back, we are in the day of man, the age of man, the day of man. What that mean? Man in rebellion against God. And then when the Lord comes, he comes to bring an end to rebellion and sin, right? That's what he said in the book of Daniel. Go read it. He said the end of rebellion and sin, right? And to usher in everlasting life. And so when Yahshua comes back, that's the day of the Lord. And there's no two separate comings. Beginning of the 7 years and then at the end of the 7 years. No, when he comes, he's staying. He's going to rapture his people out and he's going to judge the world. Right? For me, please. Revelation chapter 4, verse number 1. After this, John the apostle said, after this, he had a revelation in Revelation 3, talking about the churches, right? The 7 churches of Asia. And then he said, after this, I looked. This is John. Yahshua giving him a vision. I looked, and there before me was a door standing open in heaven. So he was in this revelation. He looks up, there's a door in heaven. And the voice I had first heard speaking to me, like a trumpet said, and that was, I believe it was Joshua, come up here. It's asking John the apostle to come up here. It's not saying the church is being raptured. He didn't say this is when the churches, we are caught up to meet the Lord in the air. No, come up here. And why? There's a reason why. Just take the scripture for what it means. What did he say? Come up here. Why? And I will show you what must take place after this. Now, how did he get the rapture out of that? How did they get the rapture out of that? See, when you look at people, you think they're so deep and eloquent and been to seminary, and all these other different places, you think that they got something. This you got to get this by the Spirit of God. This is not something that man can teach you. That's why Paul said that the gospel that I preach to you is not something that man has given me. Paul didn't go to no university or college or anywhere else to get it, but he got it by revelation from Jesus Christ. And the Apostle John is getting this by revelation from Jesus Christ. And because of that, when people look at this, they want to try to fit this scripture into their false belief that was championed by the Dake Annotated Bible and the Plymouth Brothers of pre-tribulation rapture. Come up here. In chapter 4, John is told to come up here to heaven where his vision continues. It's not no rapture of no church. Most who hold the pre-tribulation view see the words come up here as signifying the rapture, the catching away into heaven. The door is open in heaven. The voice is like a trumpet, because the trumpet of God and the voice of Archangel God shall sound. Remember, we talked about that before. The problem is that this too is an assumption. The scripture does not indicate in any way this symbolism.